must-have. So there can be many cases where you will need to remote access your machine, such as quarantine or sheltering at home, reduced travel option, or the site is very far from your current location. Physical access to the machine is limited, or you need to perform rapid changes in production while you are not on site. There are many cases where you must act immediately in order to avoid downtime of the machine, and this can be solved by remote access. So as you understand, remote access enables you to interact with your PLCs to control your applications from anywhere at any time. Let's see some scenarios where remote access is essential. First scenario would be a machine malfunction. Let's say you cannot leave home, half of your factory staff is under quarantine. You receive a text message that alerts you that your machine is malfunctioning. What do you do in such case? Simple, implement remote access. Connect to your Unitronics PLC via VNC, web server, or remote operator using PC or mobile. Troubleshoot and fix the malfunction, and then you can continue to monitor the machine functionality. Another scenario, order was changed by your customer. As we mentioned before, you are not able to get to the production site and your customer is calling and asking for an order change. You must act immediately before the production starts. What can you do? You can use our FTP or SQL SD card suite to remotely modify the production recipes. Basically, you can transfer the data and the PLC will automatically start the production according to the new recipe. One more example is when there is no technician available on site. You build a machine and deliver it to your customer's site, but there is no technician that can help with setting up the system. What do? From your location, connect to the machine, perform setup and commissioning according to the customer requirements, including integrated Unitronics VFDs and servos. Another scenario can be is when your customer requested a new feature addition or changing existing feature. In this case, again, very easily, edit your application and remote access with our programming environment to download and update their application. So as you understand, now more than ever before, you must be able to access and control your application from anywhere at any time. Unitronics Remote Access enables you to monitor and interact with your application as if you are on site, standing next to the PLC. With Unitronics Remote Access, you can control and monitor your application from anywhere, remote troubleshooting, set up and commission your system remotely, update or change your application off-site, and even modify and implement recipes. And all I mentioned just now has no cost, no licensing, and very easy to implement. Using our Unistream series of controllers, modular, built-in, or even the Unistream PLC with no HMI, this enables you to remote control and monitor via VNC or web server. You can remote access the data in the PLC using FTP or SQL, and you can make application modifications, download the modifications or upload, debug, using our Unilogic, our great environment of programming. These amazing PLCs can also provide notifications via SMS, emails, and QTT to send information to the cloud, and you can protect your HMI access by multi-level password features. Every Unistream PLC can be a VNC enabled. One can download any VNC client application from the web and remote control the PLC. It can access the user screens and our built-in system screens. This can be done, of course, from a PC, mobile, or a tablet. So let's see a short example. I have a VNC on my PC. I will just open it again. I will need to enter the IP address of the PLC I need to connect to. Click on Connect. I need to enter the password for security. And once connected, I can see the HMI of my PLC, and I can control it like I'm standing next to the PLC. Okay, very easily. Just connect and control remotely. Another way of remote accessing our Unistream PLCs is using its web server grade feature. Unistream web server is based on HTML5, but the great thing about it is that you build your web pages just like HMI editor. Drag and drop the elements, link the tag, and you are done. You can create advanced web pages in few minutes, while if you needed to code it by HTML or other web programming, it would require programming knowledge and will take more time. Unistream Web Server offers a large library of elements, widgets, and enables you to easily design amazing web pages. In terms of connectivity, many clients can connect at the same time, while each user has its own profile, meaning each user will see only its allowed pages. So let's see a short demo. We'll just open my browser and I will type the IP address of the PLC I would like to connect. And we can see right now I have connected to one of my PLCs here. And if I will go, for example, to the water management procedure, you can see here the design that we made for this page, and clicking on the start buttons will actually really start the outputs of the system to fill the tanks or start the pumps. The web server offers, like we said, many widgets such as trends and tanks and gauges. So you can do almost anything from the web server. If we'll just take a quick look how it looks in our programming environment. So under the web server, we can add pages. This is, for example, the page that I just showed you. And we can see here that, for example, if I will remove one of these widgets under the toolbox, we can just pick the widget that we would like to use, just draw it on the screen, link it to the tag, for example, let's say the pressure in this case. Of course, we can design it and set other colors. Okay, for example, I will just choose another style of the widget, and very easily we are done with designing this widget. So as you can see, just drag and drop, link your tags that you already used in your application, and you are done. Another option in our web server is the ability to copy and paste from the HMI So for example, if I will go to the HMI pages, I can copy basically few elements from the HMI, go to my web page, and paste them. So if you already created your screens, you can copy some elements directly to the web server, or you can fully convert an HMI page by just right-click, export the screen to the web server, and the HMI screen will be a web page under our web server. Very easily done. Our Vision and Samba series of controllers can be remote and controlled using Unitronics Remote Operator utility. The remote operator is available for PC and also supported by mobile devices. Just download it free, configure the communication, and you are ready to go. Let's just take a look on the remote operator. So this is how remote operator on the PC side looks like. So in general, you can add as many PLC as you like, configure the communication for the PLC in order for the connection. So we put the IP, target port, and the name. We can check the connection. You can see the model, and then by just clicking on the Run button, we can see the HMI of our PLC, and we can control it like we are standing next to the PLC. In terms of data transfer or recipes, all Unitronics controllers enable you to get up and close to your personal data. This enables you to harvest data, log it, and transfer the data, for example, to change a recipe from a remote location. In our Unistream series, we can use the FTP or SQL, and in Vision and Samba series, we can use the SD card suite or remote operator. So we can see a very quick demo. So right now, I'm going to show you, for example, a recipe. This is the table of the production recipes. It doesn't matter right now, it's empty or it has some values. And I'm going to use here some FTP client to connect to the PLC and transfer a file. I'm going to transfer a CSV file with all the information of the recipe. I'm just dragging it to the PLC directory, and you can see immediately how the table was updated with all the values, and now the PLC can start the production according to the new recipe. So again, remotely from anywhere by FTP or SQL, you can update your data in the PLC. Other remote options supported by Unitronics controllers are sending SMS. You can even send SMS to the controller in order to turn off your machine or change a set point. Supporting MQTT for publishing data to the cloud or even subscribing and get data from other clients. OPC UA, UniOPC, data export, which also enables you to retrieve data from the controller remotely, and FTP server and client like we saw before. So just to summarize, Unitronics Remote Access enables you to view and control from anywhere, supporting PC, tablet, or mobile phones, easy and quick configuration, and multiple clients can be connected at the same time. Even the ability to restrict user access by multi-level passwords. Now we all understand that these days remote access is essential. Thank you all for participating in this webinar. We'll have a few minutes for questions. If any one of you have any questions, you can use the question pen to send me the questions. So we have a question whether the Vision series also supporting remote access. Yes, of course, as we saw, remote operator is the tool where you can remote access the Vision and Samba controllers from PC or mobile. There is a question about the OPC UA. So Unitronics Unistream series of controllers, OPC UA server. That means that with the OPC UA client like SCADA, you can connect to our Unistream. This protocol again is very secure, very robust, very flexible. Then using the SCADA, of course, you can read and write tags to the Unistream controller. Another question is whether the PLC must be connected to the computer in order to have the remote access. The answer, of course, is no. You can put your PLC anywhere in the world. Of course, you will have to connect the router, perform the settings, and then you can access it from anywhere. Okay, another question we have, whether there is a backward compatibility of Windows PCs. Again, today we are supporting all Windows system. Of course, as you know, Windows XP is stopped supporting by Microsoft, but as far as I know, our software is still running properly on XP. Another question is whether we can access the PLC code remotely. As I mentioned before, when using our programming environment, you can connect directly from the programming environment to the PLC, no matter where it's located, and you can perform changes, modifications, download or upload your application.
Okay.
One more question, whether our Jazz series of controllers are supported by remote operator. It is supported by remote operator in the PC version. Another question is whether there is any licensing cost associated with the features shown. No. No licensing, no cost. You just buy the PLC and you get all this good. Another question, of course, asking here whether we must have internet connection for remote access. Again, it's not a must. If you want to control it within your local network in the factory, of course it's possible. If you want to do it from outside of the factory, then most probably, if you are not in the same network, you will have to have internet connection. Okay, I would like to thank you all. I know that not all the questions have been answered, but if you have any, if you want to send the questions, you are most welcome to send it to support@unitronics.com, and we will be happy to answer. So I would like to thank you again for participating in this webinar. I hope that you found how essential is remote access these days, and hope to see you in our next webinar. Thank you all, and goodbye.